I'm joined by Katie Johnson. She's the VP and Global Brand Leader with Collection Brands. Katie, thank you for joining me today.
Glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. So tell us a little bit about your role as the VP of the Collection Brands.
Sure, it's a great job, one I'm very proud of. So I work a little bit differently. So if you know Hyatt, we have 30 brands, which is a lot, 1,500 hotels around the world. For me personally, I'm in charge of the best brands because they are comprised of independent or soft branded hotels. So you might be asking, what does that mean? Each one of my hotels within the 3 collection brands here, which you see and we'll talk about in a minute, they're all independent. They all have their own name and logo, look and feel, personality. Their target audience is a little bit different. They're all really hotels of one. But what connects them is these brands, right? The Unbound Collection by Hyatt, Destination by Hyatt, and JDV by Hyatt. So it's a really fun job.
You know, you mentioned a couple of words that I think meeting planners love to hear. They love to hear personality. They love to hear different. And so these 3 brands of the collection brands are really hotels that have a unique personality and they're very different from one another. Before we tackle the 3 individual brands, tell us a little bit about the collection brand portfolio. How many hotels have you guys have around the world?
Sure. So as of today, we have the 3 collection brands. They're all a little bit unique and distinct from one another. So I'll talk through each one of them. The Unbound Collection by Hyatt is a curated portfolio of hotels that are story-worthy. So they each have something unique, big, bright, beautiful personalities, really connecting people to immersive experiences. So as of today, we have 41 hotels around the world in the Unbound Collection by Hyatt. So really, truly spectacular, story-worthy hotels. Moving on to Destination by Hyatt, which is another great collection brand. We have 20 hotels within this portfolio around the world. What makes Destination unique is it's really about the destination, right? And bringing people in a very immersive way. This brand is probably of the 3 the most that has a lot of meeting space and event space and really specializes in a lot of those events. JDV and Unbound do as well. Moving on to JDV, which is a Joie de Vivre, acronym for Joie de Vivre or Joy of Life. This is our collection of vibrant, independent, boutique lifestyle hotels. So a little bit more urban footprint. They're all about the community, connection to neighborhood. They really care for the greater good of the community, but also are meeting planners. So they do things a little bit unique and different. We have 2 hotels here today, which I'm really excited about, that are part of JDV by Hyatt, the Andor House and the Walper. And we also have Spirit Ridge, who is representing the Unbound Collection by Hyatt.
Yes, well, Spirit Ridge is the hotel that I'm the most familiar with, given it's 2 hours from my hometown. Tell me a little bit more about Spirit Ridge. So Spirit Ridge is located in Soyuz, BC, which is just north of the U.S. border, kind of on the tip of the desert. So it's incredibly beautiful desert feel, a lot of indigenous connections at this hotel. Anything else you can share about one of my favorite properties?
You know it well.
I love it.
It really does have a sense of place, right? So it's really embodying that location, bringing the outside in, making people feel connected to the environment. They have a great vineyard, a lot of meeting space, dining and food and beverage is great. We love to cater to our meeting planners and create that personalized relationship. So what I love about Spirit Ridge and our independent properties is that they really listen. They want to learn what is in the best interest of that meeting planner and their group, and they create these custom outside of the box itineraries, right? So they bring people in, but it also serves as a base camp to explore the great area around it. So very immersive experiences, highly programmatic, but really meeting our customers where they want to be and delivering upon the expectations they want.
I couldn't agree more. And Spirit Ridge really is that property that you won't see anything like it in Canada. You won't see anything like the destination of Soyuz in Canada. So it really does set itself apart. Now, 2 hotels that I am dying to learn more about are the Walper House, are the Andor. Tell us a little bit about those JDV properties.
So each one of them is so unique and distinct from one another. So I think, as you learn about the collection brands, what you discover is they are not like anything else, right? So the Walper, the Andor House is spectacular. It's in Toronto. Really a reflection of that local neighborhood, that surrounding neighborhood. So they're really catering to guests that want to come to Toronto, but more specifically want to immerse themselves in that neighborhood and that connection to place. Each one of them has really great ways in which they connect with meeting and event planners. and they can custom the program based on what the meeting planner is looking for. So they may not have the largest meeting and event space, but what they can do is have that real true relationship with meeting planners and create itineraries, again, that are just outside of the box, which I loved your panel before. Like I was speaking my love language, but that's what Andor House and can do as well as the Walter, just unique custom itineraries based on the needs of the meeting planner.
And you're right, meeting planners love to hear that word, customized. How is this going to make my group feel special from any other group that you've had in-house? These two hotels can deliver on those and above.
Yeah, and they have the flexibility to do things differently, right? But what I love about this space is that each hotel is so unique and distinct, but they're connected to Hyatt, right? So you get the benefits, you know you're gonna get high levels of quality and service, and really just having that backbone and that endorsement of being a part of Hyatt is really important, because we do cater to guests that wanna have a higher level expectation.
Basically the best of both worlds if you're looking for that unique outside the box experience at a branded hotel that has that backbone. So Destination by Hyatt isn't something a lot of Canadian planners are familiar with. And I know there's lots of things happening, so share what you can about what's going to happen with Destination by Hyatt.
Well, a couple things. I think that's really interesting about all three brands is there's tremendous growth in this space. What we're seeing in particular meeting and events is that this soft branded space is different and unique, and Destination in particular has been known and has a reputation for having larger meeting and events, social spaces. Typically they have a lot of accommodation offerings too, so they might have hotel rooms or villas. Again, trying to cater to larger groups. And I'm actually here this week talking to 3 developers for 3 new Destination by Hyatt properties in Canada. So really excited about the growth. Across the 3 today, we have 150 hotels within the 3 collection brands. We have total 20 hotels with Hyatt that are in Canada, but what's exciting is the growth across all 3 of these brands. And I think a trend that we're seeing, and I'd love to talk to everyone here, one trend that we're seeing is, meeting and event planners love what they get from big brands and well-recognized brands. But what we're seeing is they like these more custom, like we're saying, solutions for their needs. But these independent hotels, they don't have to follow any script, right? So they really do break out of the norm. And travelers are telling us that. They want to go to these boutique hotels. They want to go explore a destination they've never been. They want to hear about a story or an immersive experience that is unlike anything else. So we're seeing growth across Hyatt, but specifically in these 3 and a lot within Destination by Hyatt in Canada.
And which means that bucket list is growing, my friends. So if you're looking to have that unique experience either for yourself or your delegates, you have to add all of them to your list, because you're never going to get the same experience at any 2 of these collection brand hotels. Now, you alluded to the brand earlier and the strength of the brand and the growth of the brand of Hyatt as a whole. We love Hyatt in Canada. We would love to see more and more Hyatts in Canada. Tell us a little bit about Hyatt's growth across Canada, but also around the world.
Perfect. Yeah, I'd love to share that. So I think what makes Hyatt unique is we're not the biggest, right? We play against the big boxes, Marriott, Hilton, IHG, but I think what's different about us, we're a purpose-driven company. And I'm come from the brand world, so of course, purpose is at the heart of a brand, right? We want to create that relentless loyalty, that emotional connection with our meeting and our event planners, but our travelers in general. So there's a lot of interest in Hyatt, but I think it's how we work hand in hand with our stakeholders, specifically meeting and events, which is a huge part of Hyatt's ecosystem and what we're known for. And I think a proof point to that is we have a program called Together by Hyatt. It's a platform that caters to meeting and event planners. This was built on the feedback from meeting planners. They wanted one platform, they wanted one central source, they wanted one area they could go for meeting and event venues, they wanted best practices and tips, custom itineraries. All that resource and that information is on Together by Hyatt. So I think what makes Hyatt different is we don't want to be the biggest. We want to be the best in our relationships, and we want to create tools and resources that cater to what our meeting and event planners want. And we're listening. We're constantly adapting. I think that's why there's so much interest in Hyatt. We have strong reputation, but more importantly, it's the relationships we build with our stakeholders.
And I love how you said that you are listening to your stakeholders. You are listening with intention, and then you're actioning it as a brand and creating these resources like Together by Hyatt, where meeting planners can get everything in one place, and they don't have to hunt and peck for information anymore. They've got it all at their fingertips with Together by Hyatt. Now I know your role is large, very large. You have a lot of responsibilities. A lot of that is that listening with intention and leaning into the trends that are coming up. What are some things that our meetings and events folks should be paying attention to when it comes to trends as a whole?
Yeah, for sure. So we're constantly grounded in data and listening, and we pull outside resources. We're doing surveys all the time. We're looking at competitor trends. We're listening to how our meeting and planners are evolving and what they want. So the trends that we're seeing, at least from my perspective for Hyatt, is business is back. Meeting and events are booming. We're now seeing that meetings are superseding 2019 records. So I think that's one interesting thing, and we're also seeing huge demand in Canada. There's a lot of potential opportunities up here, so a lot of growth, hence why we're adding so many hotels. But I think we really are grounded in listening and creating that personalized approach with our meeting and event planners. Another thing that's really important is these outside the box ideas and a lot of the experiences, right? Like we know that customers, they want to come and enjoy the hotel and have access to that destination, but programming is huge. So each of our hotels is really doing unique things to really break through the clutter, make that memorable experience so that your attendees and delegates are really talking about the experience and coming back for more. So we have this great program, it's called Find, F-I-N-D. It's on Hyatt.com, and it serves up all kinds of content, all types of experiences, both for individual travelers, but groups as well. And they're like stunning activities, like really, really cool things that aren't offered at the big boxes. So just a great platform for meeting and event planners to do something unique for their own event.
So you've got these two great platforms. You've got Together by Hyatt, you've got Find. I need to dive into Find. I'm a sucker for tools, so I can't wait to dive into Find. And tell us a little bit about Hyatt's commitment to well-being. We know that that's a massive trend. It's all we're thinking about. I know I'm thinking about my well-being, being on the show floor for 2 straight days.
Yeah.
What is Hyatt doing to respond to that trend?
Well-being is such a big thing. It's not a trend. This is a way of living, and we want to cater to emotional connections, however well-being comes to life for each of our guests, right? So we're doubling down in this space. We really are, and it even goes as far as sustainability, right? And caring for the greater good of the environment. So not just human well-being, but the greater good of the earth. So we're doing a lot of things. We have a well-being collective that spotlights our hotels that are doing things fitness and physical wise, but also emotional and mental. So we're partnering with Headspace. We're doing a lot of really cool, inventive programs to really tap into the hearts and minds of our guests through well-being lens, right? Whether it's fitness and programming for our event planners or other things too that stir that emotional connection with one another. Connection is a big part of well-being and feeling connected with yourself, but also those that you're traveling with, and feeling better version of yourself when you leave. So a lot of great programs and things that are tied to well-being.
Well, and taking it back to the collection brands, and especially the one that I know very well, the Spirit Ridge, there is that well-being component just looking outside your window. And so these 3 collection brands have done a really good job, in my opinion, of creating that connection to the community, creating that connection to nature, creating that well-being that's already built in without even having to do anything additional. So I love that. And for the Canadian planners in the room, there's lots on the horizon for Hyatt in Canada. I know you can't share all the details, but what can we look forward to?
There's going to be a lot, and you'll probably hear our name a lot in the next couple months from a media perspective. A lot of new openings, a lot of new programs. So really excited. Like I said, I'm here not only for this event, which is spectacular, so thanks Jamal for inviting me and having Hyatt up here, but a lot of development. So we're talking to a lot of investors and owners who want to connect to Hyatt through these 3 collection brands in a very intimate and unique way. So you'll start to hear Hyatt in really great ways and a lot of expansion with new hotels all over the region. So really excited to see Hyatt grow here.
I think I speak for all planners when I say it's about time, because we cannot wait for more Hyatt product in the Canadian market. This was an epic conversation. I've learned so much about Hyatt. I cannot wait to see you guys open more properties across Canada. Thank you for your time, Katie.
Thank you for having me. Check out Hyatt.com. Pleasure to be here.
Thank you.
Thank you.